G'day everyone, it's Courtesy and welcome to an On The Back Wheel video. Today, I'm going to be taking off the stock tyres from my KLR 650 and putting on these Bridgestone AX41s. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and number two, I haven't changed motorcycle tyres by hand in a very long time, so this could be a bit rough, but it's probably good for someone like me who hasn't done it in a long time, or someone who maybe hasn't done it at all. You can watch me struggle through it and get an idea of how to change the tyres on the KLR 650. I've got some basic tools. Got some 240mm tyre irons. I've got 4 of those. Got this sucker to get off the rear, but I've also got a socket set and a shifter. For the front, you need an Allen key to undo these bolts here, and you need a 14mm Allen key or a socket insert like I've got to undo the front axle. The rear, I'll come around to here. We're going to need to pull this pin out, and then that's a 27mm socket from memory to pull that off. Stand wise, I am using a road bike stand on the front. It's for my street bikes. The plan was to use a street bike stand on the rear as well, because I don't have a center stand on the KLR. But that does not work because the KLR is too narrow. So what I've done is propped it up with a rear stand and then put this MX stand underneath, and it makes it pretty well the perfect height in combination with the front stand. You don't actually need the front stand, I've just got it there because it makes it a bit easier and a bit more stable. Oh yeah, this is just off the ground, so I'll be able to slide that off, no issues at all. Okay, we'll put the AX41s in the sun, and then we'll get these tyres off the KLR. Oh. It's a nice sunny day, so they should heat up nicely. The reason you chuck them in the sun is so you get the tyres a bit more malleable, a bit softer, so you can get them on and off the rim easier. First thing we have to do is loosen off these Allen keys, so we'll do that now. I've already loosened them slightly just before the video, but we just loosen them off. Then this, put it on the 1/2-inch socket, get that in there, and undo that other way. Okay, that out. Well, that was easy. It's nice and clean and new, that's why. These spacers, just make sure you take them out, remember where they go. There's one on the other side here as well. There's a bit of grease in there, which is good. So make sure you just keep them and remember which side they go. So that'll be this side, other side. Alright, that's one tyre off. So we'll go chuck that in the sun so it loosens up a bit, and then get the rear off. So to get the rear bolt off, we're going to need to get out this split pin, twist that down, and should be able to just pull it up. Should. Got it, just needed squaring up, that's all. So that is a 27, and that's a bit shallow, but here we go. Oh, got it. Sweet, got that off, and there's a washer here, make sure you don't lose that. For this, I use like a rubber mallet or something like that. You're just gonna tap this back and through, and it'll come out this side, hopefully. Okay, done. Put that somewhere over here. And out. That whole section comes out if you need to. Oh, got a spacer that side too. So this side has a spacer which just fell out. You can see some dirt and stuff like that's caught up in it as well, so we'll clean that off before we put it in, put a little bit of grease. And then this side has a spacer as well. Alright, next thing we need to do is let the air out of the tyres. From memory, these already have a like a valve remover, so we should be able to. No, it's one-handed, so just twist that out a bit. There we go. Now if you're like me and you don't have anything to change your tyres on, I'm using the tyre just underneath here, the new tyre, and then we'll get these ones off, get that one on, and then do the same for that one there. Press this down. That's all loose, bead's broken. Now this is where I'm going to be tested, because this is the part I haven't done in a really long time. From memory, you have to... One. Try not to grab the tube. Got it. Two. It should be there. Got it. We should be able to pull this all the way around. Beautiful. I should just be able to pull it out, yeah, out by hand. Right, that's it off. The rim tape and everything looks great. Looks in good nick, so try and get the rear tyre off. See how we go with that. Got it. Great. We'll use a sheet so I don't scratch the rims. Okay, should be able to pull it out now. Yeah. Got it. Alright, there we have it. We got the tyre off. And it is stuffed, look at that, absolutely stuffed. And the rim there. Whew. Oh, it's hot, it's really hot. I chose a hot day to do this. That's alright, the tyres will heat up nice, to be a bit more malleable. Righto, let's get on to the AX41s. Next thing we have to do is put on the rear tyre and make sure the directional arrow is pointing the right way. So that's going to face that way, which means your tyre's going to be spinning that way, rotating forward. And also another trick I got is dishwashing liquid. I've got it in a bottle here just to make the tyres slip on a bit better. So we'll spray the tyres with that so they slip on a bit better. So we'll slide that on that way. It might need a bit of persuasion. Oh, so that's to go in there, and then I have to get the tyre inside the rim. So we'll see how we go. One, two, three. You can get away with three pretty easily here. Not want to go. Ugh. All right, we're getting close. There we go. Oh, I'm sweating big time. I figured out at the end there what I was doing wrong. But yeah, bit of a mission. That is a stiff tyre. Well, it feels stiff anyway. I've heard the Motos ones are really bad to put on, but anyway, it's on. See how easy it is with the front one next. Alright, that's on. Wasn't too bad actually, but that was the easy part. Now we'll get that tube in and then get to work getting that in. I think it's going to be a bit of a mission, everyone. We'll see how we go. Alright, this has been too easy so far. It's going to have to get really hard soon. That's right, look at my feet. Oh, we're super close. Super close. One more might do it. Woo! There we go. Got it. Pull these out. Whew, they're on. Can confirm I'm sweating like a gypsy with a mortgage, but I've got it done. Let's have a look. They look pretty nice, eh? Nice set of tyres. Now I've just got to go pump up the tubes. Hopefully I haven't pinched the tubes. That would be super awkward. Hope not. Should be right. I didn't feel like I did. Just going to put the valve stems back in. I've tightened them up. And pump it up, then chuck it back on the beast. Woo! Let's do it. So I've managed to get the tyres to seat properly. I'll show you how they look. They look absolutely fantastic. Great looking tyre, they really are. They look very knobby and chunky. I'm excited to try these out. I had some issues trying to get these to seat on the rim properly. I couldn't get them to pop and sit. The first time I did it, I went down to the service station to pump them up after they've been inside all day after work. I just couldn't get them to seat properly for the life of me, trying like 55 psi. Just couldn't get them to pop. So I came home and the next day I left them in the sun for the morning and took some Windex down with me, and that worked absolutely perfectly. They popped straight away with it took like 50 psi though. So Windex the absolute bejeebers out of them, and then just pumped them up a couple of times and popped nicely. I had a couple of people ask me, do these tyres, do they pop as well? They definitely do the pop. And a boom! So you've been warned. Well, the rear does it, the front didn't. The front just kind of went into place. I don't have balancing equipment, so what I'm going to do is seat them on the bike so they're hanging freely, put the axle through and spin them and do it from there. It's interesting to note that the front had two weights on it. I've marked them down here with tape where they were. The rear had absolutely nothing, so we'll see how we go. If I can get away with just doing one weight on the front, we'll see. If not, look, we'll compromise, see how bad it is and go from there. But you know, I imagine it'll be fine. She's a KLR, mate. We're not a 1290 Super Duke where every bit of balance counts. You know, I want them pretty spot on though. So what I'm going to do is fit them up and see how we go. Let's do it. Okay, I'll show you my Hauser way of wheel balancing, but it should work fine. I just did a test spin. It spun really well. So I took the brake caliper off because that is touching and causing some drag. And then I've got my bit of tape. This is where my old one was. And we're just going to give it a spin and see where it stops. And I'll do it mark it, do it a few times so we get a gauge of where it should be. Bear in mind, I am definitely not a professional. I just figure it out along the way from practice. If you know a better way to do it, let me know and let everyone else know, because this is just how I know to do it with the limited tools I have. Alright, let's do a couple more spins, see if we get the right spot. I'll tell you what, that is very close with nothing on it, so we'll see how that goes. I'll tighten it all up and then we'll try the rear. Now rear tyres are always a bit more tricky to fit because there's just more going on and they're heavier. We got our chain and our brakes and that to get in, so I'm just going to do it without all that stuff first, give it a good spin, and then see if I can balance it. It's a bit chunkier, this tyre. So you know how the front wheel is pretty spot on, not the rear. Look at this. Just seesawing. Keeps on spinning. Let's go back the other way. Yeah. So we're going to have to balance this one. Just wait for it to stop and then mark it. Alright, it's stopped. And I'm going to go pretty straight up to here and mark it about there. Looks spot on. I put one on, it's still spinning slightly, so we'll put another one on. Alright, that's pretty bloody good now, where they are now. Just had to modify, move that one from there to there. And that seems pretty spot on. So now I'm going to take the wheel off, get the sprocket and everything on, make sure the spaces are all sweet, and put it all back together. Sprocket on. Get on there. That's on. Spacer. In. Insert swear word here, everyone. This is painful. Wear it up. Okay, got it on. Very fiddly and annoying. Just, gee, go away, Chook. So annoying. Very fiddly to put on. But not too bad once you get the hang of it. You know, I'm a complete noob at doing this in the KLR. But it is all on now. Just got to adjust the chain and tighten it all up. Okay, everyone, the tyres are on. Let's have a look. And here they are. I think they look absolutely fantastic, especially the rear. Look at it. It makes it look so much more tough, the KLR. It is a chunky looking tyre. I really like the look of it. It looks fantastic. Let's go around to the front. I'll zoom out a bit so you can have a look. Oh yeah. Nice. And here's the front. It looks pretty much like a knobby. It looks fantastic. I'm really excited to try it out. Looks trick. Just having a look at clearances, no issues at all with the front tyre. You know, there's heaps of clearance there. Have a look at the side. Yeah, looks absolutely fantastic. Looks trick as. Come around to the back. I'll show you the clearances there. Oh, baby, I'm excited to use that. Ooh. On the side here, plenty, absolutely plenty. You can see there in the swing arm, there's a big gap at the front and at the sides. Looks like there is the same for the exhaust here. That's not going to hit at all. So that's great. So that should pop up there. No issues at all. If we come round to this side though, now this is a 130/80. People are putting 140s on. I would struggle to see them fitting because they're fine with the swing arm and chain gap here. But up here, you can see here, it's almost in line with it. So if you're working the suspension, it's going to hit on the side if you've got a wider tyre. So I'd probably stick with the 130s on these. Plus, it's a KLR, you need every bit of horsepower you can get, and a 140 will sap that. You can see, yeah, there's a bit of clearance issues there if you get a 140, but 130 is spot on. I'm extremely happy with these. Look how trick they look. They look fantastic. Woo! Go away, Chook. Yeah, they look fantastic. I made sure I torqued up all the bolts and everything, so there should be no issues there. Make sure you do that on these, because I thought I did them pretty tight and it still had a little bit of weights to go on the front and the rear, so make sure you do that. I'm extremely keen to try these out. One of the first things I'm going to do is go up, I'm looking over here, these mountains over there. That's where I struggled off-road with the stock tyres, so I'm hoping these will make a huge difference. I think they really will, especially off-road. Now, I am a little bit worried about tyre life for the rear. I haven't ridden this at all. I literally wheeled it out of the garage just then, but I've heard the rear can chew out a bit quickly. But this is a KLR 650, you know, 40 horsepower versus a 10 array or Africa Twin or something. This is not going to chew out rear tyres as quickly. The weight is there, so that is something to be worried about. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Hopefully the front wears really well, and if that wears quite well and that chews out quick, I'll put a 606 or something on the back and see how that goes. All right, that's it from me, everyone. If you like what I'm doing, hit the like and subscribe button. Look out for an initial review on the AX41s and a long-term review. I will be doing both of those, and make sure you subscribe for other motorcycle related content.